In this video, I'll be telling you the 25 plugins that I use during mixing for early 2018. If you've been a subscriber to Real Home Recording for a while, you may be disappointed in this list because I don't have too many new plugins. I'm kind of boring like that, but it is what it is. By the way, I'm not going to list virtual instruments because, they're not really used for mixing, well, they are, but they're not. They're more for the recording process. Anyway, well, kind of ironic considering this is my first plugin, but virtual instruments meaning like something with samples. So Amplitube Four leads the list. These are all actually in alphabetical order, just for simplicity's sake. So this is my most recent guitar amp sim purchase, the Ampeg SVT VR. And in general, I've been with Amplitube for a very long time, and I don't have number 4. I don't have version 4, but I do have the amps within. Not all of them, obviously, but a lot of them. A lot of the collections. The original Ampeg. I have Fender one. I'd like to have everything, but I just don't. But anyway, yeah. So I definitely like Amplitube. Is it the best? No, I think Scuffham is probably your best all-around bet. Scuffham S-Gear. But Amplitube is still good. Alright, now Space Invaders. Anyway, this is CMX from Schwa, Stillwell, whatever. And this is just my go-to bigger vocals plugin. I actually made a video that featured this plugin because it's such an awesome effect. And it also sounds good if you want to make synths stand out or maybe a lead guitar. It's just an overall awesome little effect. DC8C2 from Klanghelm. Great overall compressor plugin. You can pretty much just use this plugin and be able to do anything compression wise. Like, this is just a simple mode. Let's just get to the advanced mode. Yeah. But yeah, simple mode has a lot of stuff, or easy mode, I should say. There's just so many options already and different characters. Like I said, from clean to punchy and everything in between. This plugin does it all. Brick wall limiting. Yep. Echo Boy. Still my favorite delay plugin. I will say that Acoustica Audio's Lemon, I want that. I'm going to get it eventually, but it eats up a lot of CPU, it eats up a lot of RAM, and Echo Boy just, it does its thing. It barely uses any CPU, and does it sound as good as Lemon? Maybe not, but it gets the job done quite well. FabFilter DS. Basically, it gets rid of the harsh frequencies. I use it all the time. Voiceovers. It's mainly my singing plugin. Next group, we have AD Clip 7. Now, Slate Digital's not going to like me for saying this, but basically this is FGX 2.0. FGX 2.0 hasn't come out yet, but this plugin, which is a freebie, by the way, from Air Windows, but if you do like it, please donate to him via Patreon. This is supposed to sound like what a high-end analog to digital converter sounds like when you push it hard. And it also has what FGX does, which is, it retains the dynamic sound of a very dynamic mix while making it louder. So it does a lot of things, and yeah, the fact that this plugin's free, amazing. The only thing is it doesn't have a GUI. You have to just use the sliders. But that's why we're mixers. We're not here to look at artwork. We are here to mix audio. This is more of like a mastering engineer type of plugin. But yeah, anyway, it's a great plugin. Try it out. Waves Voice Centric. This is, to me, an updated version of the Renaissance Vox compressor, which I haven't completely retired, but for the most part it's retired with this plugin. This is my go-to compressor for the live broadcast, It also has a decent delay. I'm not a fan of the reverb, but the delay is okay. But really the compressor, which I actually think there's 2 compressors in series, plus there's an EQ and I think a little bit of saturation. So this plugin has a bunch of different processors going on underneath the hood, and for that reason it's great. If I'm sent mixes that have tracks that were just not gain staged properly, I run this plugin on the entire mix and it saves me a lot of time, and the plugin didn't cost me a lot of money, so I recommend it to you. IIEQ Pro. This is usually the first equalizer that I use on a track because it's clean. I love the Butterworth high pass, and then I'll bring that over. Sometimes I'll change it to third order, but clean cuts. If I want, I can change it to like digital peak or anything else here. It can notch. So great plugin. It actually can get bigger than this. It's another thing I love about it. So I always call this one the Poor Man's FabFilter Pro Q. Ozone 7. This is the advanced version, but the regular version has this module. And I love the maximizer. There it is. I was looking at the EQ. The maximizer is really the main thing I use. The IRC4 is just excellent, but really the rest of the plugin has a lot of awesomeness. It has, let's see, this, which is like a combination Pultec EQP1A and MEQ5. So it has the mid-band plus the low and high shelves or high peak. And then we also have the vintage compressor, which is a Fairchild 670 type of emulation. And so I think this is advanced only features. So I apologize if that's the case. But yeah, even the standard version of Ozone 7 is good. Ozone 8, really not much of an upgrade. So if you already have 7, I wouldn't get it. But Ozone 6 and below, I would upgrade. Or if you don't already have it, Ozone 8, just outright buy it. But yeah. Although I love the SVT VR in Amplitube Four, Cerberus from Kuasa, to me, is the best sounding bass amp simulation. So, I have it, I love it, I recommend it. This one I just talked about a few weeks ago, and it is an emulation of the Mag EQ4, which is just fantastic on vocals and guitar. Did I mention it's free? Oh yeah, it's free. Magic AB. So basically what you do is you put this on your mix bus as the second to the last plugin. Your last plugin would be like a speaker calibration plugin. So what you do is you load in files, MP3 or WAV, and then you can AB it compared to the mix that you're playing through. Yeah, if you reference other music like I do, then this is a must-have plugin. It just makes referencing way easier than the old method of having to mute effects, and then you can't have mix bus effects, and it's like, yeah, it's a whole hassle. So this is a must-have plugin, absolutely. Phoenix Verb, I call this my convolution reverb replacement, and it's also a very clean-sounding reverb, and it's just so versatile. You have all kinds of different effects and presets, and they're still updating this. Believe it or not, they are still updating this plugin. Now, I don't have the latest version, but I'm just telling you, I know for a fact that they do. If I would have updated this, it would have said like December or January. So, anyway. Pink. After I use IIEQ Pro, this is usually what I'm using after compression. And there's just so much I can say about this plugin. Not only does it have the EQ side of things, not only is there a preamp that actually does affect the way the signal sounds. I love using the preset. This thing, the pre just makes things come alive. Not only does it have those two features, but it also has the compressor side of things. Usually sounds great on drums. I don't really use it on the mix bus. I have other plugins for that. But for drums, great. Pink, I highly recommend it. And they're actually going to be coming out with the Pink 2, I believe, by March. So they're going to be adding a bunch more features. So buy it now while it's still cheap. Izotope Rx6. Now, I don't really use the plugins usually because the standalone program is just what I need, but the plugins are there if I need them. But yeah, Rx6 improved in many ways over the old version that I had, which was Rx2. And yeah, Rx6 is, I don't know what I would do without it really, because it saves you when audio gets messed up, whether it's too noisy, it's clipped. Now, there's a de-reverber. There's the spectral aspect of it where you can remove things like finger squeaks on an acoustic guitar. So there's all kinds of advantages to owning this program. Sonar Works reference. You need this plugin. You need either this plugin or IK Multimedia ARC 2.5 because your speakers probably are not mix ready. Even if you have, quote, reference speakers, you should buy this plugin because your room will also affect how the speakers sound. It also has a headphone side. So, you can mix with headphones, you can mix with speakers. It's just an all-around must-have plugin. This is the first plugin I would buy. I would recommend buying because you can mix with stock plugins with a lot of DAWs, but there's no stock plugin that does what Sonar Works Reference does. Tone Boosters EBU Loudness Meter. So I do mixing for TV and internet, and there's different standards you need to go by. And this plugin is affordable. It shows me what I need to see. And my favorite feature is this long-term thing. And I can set it to a minute, I can set it to 30 seconds, and it gives me an overall level. And when this is playing, and actually I can synchronize it. As this is playing, it'll show me where the perceived loudness is. It's great. I can also set it to a bunch of different reference levels. So I'm covered with tone boosters. Tokyo Dawn Labs Nova Dynamic EQ. It's awesome. I can't say enough good things about it. I love it on vocals. I love it on piano. You got to have this plugin. And I'm kind of cheating with this one because this is like a collection of plugins. So it's called T-Rax, and yes, you can buy the entire collection of these plugins. So it's kind of not cheating, but it kind of is to say that. But yeah, anyway, I love these plugins. I don't use them all. I'll tell you which ones I use the most. So Black 76, this one, British Channel. Even though I bought it, I have other Buss compressors that I usually use, but this will be like my third choice. I don't typically use this anymore. I usually use Acoustic Audio Navy, but whatever. I used it while I had it, and I don't regret it. And then this has basically been replaced by Pink. This one, I'll use Vocal Audio's version, but this is also good too. This is the API 560 emulation. Pultec, I do use this occasionally. I pretty much never use this plugin. I do use this one. I like it on the drums bus. It can be good on bass. I wouldn't recommend it though. There's better compressors out there. Like I said, DC8C2 would be a much better choice than this. This is a very limited type of thing. Kind of like a 670. It's limited in what it can do. It sounds good, but it's limited in what it can do. And we also have the Echoplex emulation. I think it's called, what is it called? Oh, Tape Echo. And then moving down the line, I use this all the time, on vocals especially. This one, It's basically the cleaner version of the British channel. So I own it because I really wanted to, be able to have like a vintage sound versus a new modern sound. So I haven't really used this too much, but whenever I do like R&B or rap, this is my go-to EQ. And that's it. Wait, where's Master 432? Uh-oh. Too many plugins going on at one time. All right, there's Master 432. Now, there's a bug where the lettering on this is just blurry, and it's also hard to read the lettering. I think they're going to be fixing that soon. But for now, yeah, I do like this plugin though. Great on the Master Bus. And our last plugins, the glue. Mixed bus compression is kind of a heated topic. Like, should you mix with it on from the beginning of the mix, or should you add it at the very end? I'm more the add it at the end, and that's what this particular plugin is great for, because it has mainly this one feature that is special. It's called range. And it's not exactly like a mix knob. There's a little more involved in it than that. It also has this peak clip feature. So between that and that, it's really nice. And also, this is like ridiculous. But look at this. X64 oversampling is available. So yeah, this plugin, one of the better mixed bus compressors out there, and I recommend it if you're looking for more of a modern sound, more of a clean sound. All right, trigger 2, if I have to mix somebody's bad sounding drums, and there's a lot of badly recorded drums out there, let me tell you. I've made a few myself over the years. But anyway, this plugin allows you to replace mainly close mics, snare, kick, tom drums with nicer sounding professionally recorded drums. And I just use it on a mix because the tom drums, actually, they sounded really good. Unfortunately, there was a lot of mic bleed, and that was clouding the mix up. So the tom drums got the trigger treatment. Now, even if I was gating those tom drums, there was still a lot of bleed going on when the tom drums were being hit. So that bleed would have came into the mix. And Trigger came to the rescue yet again. So I love it. I recommend it, especially for home studios. VBC Rack, this is another Slate Digital plugin, and this one is their Mix Bus Compressor plugin. Now, just because I say Mix Bus, that doesn't mean you can't use it on tracks. Please use it on tracks, especially this one, the FG Mu. But out of these three, if I were to pick just one, it would be the Red compressor. I prefer the Red compressor over the British compressor from IK Multimedia. I sometimes prefer it over the Glue if I'm aiming for more character. There's just something that FG Red does. Now, is FG Gray good too? Yeah, but it's kind of boring compared to FG Red. FG Red to me is the shining star of this collection. And I will also recommend trying this plugin right here, FG Mu, on vocals. Virtual tape machines, this is yet another Slate Digital plugin. And this one allows us to get the sound of tape in the box. Is it the best one out there? That's up for debate. Some people like Uhe Sadden, which is spelled U-He. So Sadden, a lot of people say, is the closest thing to real tape. I don't know. I'm happy with VTM. I have been since, I think, the year 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. So anyway, on to this. This is the newest plugin that I own, and it is VLA3A from Black Rooster Audio. It is a Yori LA3A or Universal Audio LA3A compressor emulation, and I like to say it is the easier to use 1176 and the cleaner sounding LA2A. I love this on bass guitar, I love it on electric guitar, and I love it on vocals, also acoustic guitar. pretty much anything you throw at it, it sounds good on. Not really a big fan with drums because you really can't get too much pumping going on. But like I said, vocals, bass guitar, electric guitar, either distorted or clean, this one, awesome. And finally, this is honorable mention. So this is the 26th favorite plugin. This one, to me, this was the most interesting plugin released last year. Now, I'm not going to say it's plugin of the year, although for what it does, to me, it opened up a lot of possibilities. I actually have purchased a few licenses of this because you got to pay for it by either the week or the month. So I got 2 weekly and 1 monthly subscription, and I was able to mix audio with customers across the country, and they were able to hear what I was doing in real time. I also mixed for somebody who's local who just, they didn't want to come over. So I'm like, all right, well, so remote mixing. Now, you can't remotely mix, but this one allows your clients, your customers to hear their music on their speaker system and be happy. This saves so much time. It is worth every penny as far as I'm concerned because of the time saved. So if you do remote sessions or you don't want people coming over to your studio, and if they want to be listening to your mix and fixing little things here and there, I highly recommend this, and I hope the company stays in business. So that's it, guys. What are some of your favorite plugins? What did I miss that you're like, Adam, why'd you leave it off the list, man? Let me know in the comments below. Like the video if you want to help out Real Home Recording. Also, share this video to Facebook groups, audio engineering message boards like Gear Sluts and KVR Forum. I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com.